Hello, gentlemen. I hope you're well. This video is going to be a bit different. Now, it might not be for everybody, but I've had a request from one of my public groups, and they've said to me, like, look, we can see you trading. You're showing us how much you're earning. You're showing us how well you're doing. How do we actually learn? How do we actually do it? And if you watch videos on YouTube, they're always trying to sell you a course, and no one's actually a real trader. They're just trying to make money off their course. So I make I won't say exactly how much, but I make a considerable amount trading, and everyone can pretty much see it. Like last night, I told everyone to short this one called Layer, and lo and behold, we done pretty well on it. This morning, I said I'm looking for a short on Prees, which is a meme coin on Solana, and I've had two trades off that, which is 100%, 150%. The thing with me, I'm quite consistent. I'm not really, I can't really be, I lose, of course, but I don't lose big, and I'm always in profit pretty much every day. I think there was one day last week where I lost money, and other than that, because I was long in Bitcoin when it was falling. So first things first, I want to take it back to basics. I don't know what your skill level is, and I'm talking to a wide audience here. So some of it might sound like, oh, it's going to work or it's not going to work. One of the main things is your deposit, your leverage is very important. So let's say, for example, I'm going to use for this video, I'm going to do some trades now, and we're going to actually look and see what I would see. Let's say I want to trade. So I want to deposit some Solana here. So I put in some USDC on Solana. And let's say I want to put in $100. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deposit. This is a site I'm using as an example. But let's say I've got $600. In that wallet, I have got $600. I really only want to put in maybe $60, which is 10%. If you're putting in $600, you are gambling because that 600 has to last me 1 month, let's say. It has to last me to the end of the month. So I'm going to deposit $60. And while that's depositing, what we're going to do is we're going to look. So if you are a beginner, the hardest thing to trade is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the one you want to watch, but the hardest one to trade is Bitcoin, Solana, anything big is hard to trade. I promise you, because it's so much volume, so much liquidity, it's so many various factors. Like I find Forex stocks very hard to change because there's so many moving parts. This is complex, Bitcoin. Yeah, you can do that later. The only time I trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, all the big boys, is when the market is really obvious. Like we're crashing, there's so much FUD, we've dropped down to here and we just keep sinking for hours and hours. That's when I would trade it. Yeah. And I'll just follow the trend. Here, most people would think, oh, it's going to go up, oh, it's going to pull down. You can make an obvious statement. It's had a run up for a few hours. It looks like it's losing steam and I think it's going to drop off. Or you can say the trend is your friend. There's no sell pressure. It's going to keep going up and up and up. You know, we've got a leverage position on 10x and it's going to be, $100, $200 profit. So you can make a story up in your head about everything. But really and truly, the money is going to be made on the less obvious plays. So the ones that are like I'm struggling with some exchanges. Like I've made accounts on about 4 central exchanges because I find it very easy to trade these ones. So this one's called Rare. I don't know what it is, but let's look at it together and let's see if we can formulate a trade. So off of this, I don't know what chain it's on. Let's have a look. It's called Super Rare. It's on Ethereum, and we're going to look at. I don't know if this is the liquidity pool or what on it. So the first thing I want to do is look at the liquidity pool. This is step one to see if we're going to short, long, etc. So this one has a very crap liquidity. However, what this means is it's probably on CMC. It's probably traded mainly on Super Rare. It's probably mainly traded on central exchanges. So what we can do is just hover our mouse on here and we can see our central exchange volume is 260 and our DEX volume is that. So what is this token? Let's have a look. Why is it pumped? Have they brought something out? You would then look in and research it and see. I, for one, would be looking at because there's not much volume on the central exchanges, I wouldn't trade it as much. However, you may want to say, if anything, this is going to be a short position. And it's very much pegged on what Ethereum does and what the market does. This is bound to have some pullback. And you can see from the chart previously, it did hit a high, went flat, went flat, went flat for a few hours. So this could be one where if I open a short now, let's say, for example, I want to open a market position and we're going to do 10x leverage. Now, I would advise doing 10x leverage. When you're a beginner, don't go above 5 to 10. If you're going 20, you better have some good evidence as to why you're doing it. Yeah. So if we go, okay, we're going to put in 25% and we're going to do a short here. And let's see how that works out. So we filled the position. We've got in at around, let's say, 12 cents. So we'll watch that and we'll see. That is probably not going to go down to here. Like most people think, oh, okay, I'm going to let it go down to here and I'm going to take profits. It will take ages to fall if it does. If the market starts to rally, probably this one will. So Rare wasn't a fantastic example. However, let's look at something like maybe what's going to have good volume. And what one don't I know about? White? Collate? I shorted these. Let's look at Puys. I've done very well with Puys recently, so I kind of know the chart. I think on maybe not let's look at Puys, let's look at broccoli. So chart wise, I like to look on Deck Screener because this only shows when it got listed, the whole chart. So I want to see the full picture. And again, there's many of these broccolis. I haven't looked at them for ages. So LP, fantastic. So it's a really solid LP. And then I'm going to look at what the let's look on CMC because I find it hard to bloody CZ's dog. Let's put CZ's dog. I think it's this one. 42 million market cap. So it's this one. So this should be a good example. It's quite solid. The LP is really good. And I want to see what the central exchange volume. So the central exchange volume is really high in comparison to the DEX volume. And it's had a massive sell-off. So in theory, I would see this as there's not much room to make big money on this. Yeah, it's the ones that launched recently. However, this is pegged to BNB. All the liquidity is in BNB. And if BNB's price goes down, chances are the token's price will go down. Now, I might delve a little deeper into this one. I want to see what they're doing on Twitter. And I want to search the hashtag. And I also want to search the contract. Yeah, so I want to see what the community is doing. So is their profile active? Has any big news come out? So it's just a general tweet. Another one. I don't know what this says, but there's nothing. They're doing stuff. They're not doing nothing. So I want to search the contract now and see what everyone's saying. So are there any big boys? Who's this guy? I don't know. Shilling this. 4th of March, 12th of March, 19th of March, February. So nothing major in terms of, there's no big boys pushing it in terms of the contract. We're going to search the ticker, but there's a number of broccolis out there. So I've just searched the contract. Frequency is every 5 hours, 6 hours, someone's tweeting, and you want to see what these accounts are. In terms of what I see, hover your mouse over, 72 followers. No offense, no influence. This guy's got no following. No following. This guy, semi-decent following, 200. I mean, believe it or not, if you got, there's some people with less following than me, and they can actually have major influence. So it seems like people are just not really. I wouldn't find this. I think you'd agree with me. I wouldn't be bullish on this. Like, I don't think there's anything. There's nothing saying, oh, we got a big announcement coming. There's nothing. So unless BNB's price is moving positively, which it's not, remember, if Bitcoin moves up, BNB is going to move up. So I would actually short this. And because it's a small amount, we're going to go with another short. You can see the theme here. I'm loving shorting. And we're going to short this. Now, again, this one will be probably you might go down to here or something. But on this, we're up 14%. Now, if I put in a lot more on that deposit, but remember, you're just learning at this stage. And what you want to do is you want to see why this has gone down. Is there just sales? Is there anything happening? But it seems that we had a good entry. Like this is the top bits, and it seems to be the the higher, what they called higher highs. It's lower highs actually. So we've hit here again. We want to see it fall down, and you want to watch it and see. You don't want to ever go AFK. You want to learn. So your goal is to make some trades, lose a lot of cash, believe it or not. This is part of it. People will lose money and stop. If I tell you you have to lose 1,000 trades before you know what you're doing, how would you feel? Would you be putting in 500, $2,000 on a trade? No. You would probably be saying, okay, I've got 1,000. I can lose over the year $5,000 and then I can know everything. 1 or 2 years is what it's going to take, or 1,000 trades, I would say it's going to take you to learn. Because if this suddenly pumps up, I'm going to look into it. Why did it pump? Don't just get annoyed and close the chat, close this window and say, oh, I lost money, it's a scam. You need to look at why. Why is this going up? Why is it going down? Was there something that moved it? Was there something on Twitter? So let's look at Rare on Twitter. Let's just search the ticker, Rare. So you can either search the ticker or the contract. With that broccoli one, nothing comes up when you search it because there's about 30 broccolis. So is this just people singing about how well it's done? It's mooned. Again, we're going to look at some of these people. Who are they? And most of the people just try and you'll see a lot of these accounts will just try to shill anything just so people will see them. So there's no major push in terms of the top part. Latest, let's have a look. So it's just saying this one's moving well. No one major behind it. And that doesn't mean anything. But look at the frequency. 11 minutes, 13 minutes, 13 minutes. Some of these are bots. But you want to see a bit more frequency because that shows a bit more community, or at least an active community on X. And what I don't want to see is what I saw on the broccoli one. And broccoli's an old token on BSC, I understand. But really and truly, that will eventually fade off. Unless something big comes out for broccoli, you can see like the chart is just, the LP has saved it. It should be dead, but the LP liquidity has saved it. For Rare, I think it does deserve a pullback. And that's the important thing to look at. Now, without boring you, I could make this video about 10 hours long, but the main sentiment you want to look at is trading volume overall. So you can look at something like DeFi Llama. Let's say we're shorting meme coins. You're likely to do well when chains are doing well. Meaning, if we look at the volume on the chains, Solana's volume's down, which means we're better off shorting rather than longing because people are selling. People don't like low LP, especially with tokens. As soon as the LP drops, everything drops in terms of market cap, liquidity, and your short will come in. So the DEX volume is much lower on Solana. And it has been falling for weeks and weeks and weeks. So surprisingly, Orca's doing okay in comparison to Radium. So you want to check Radium's volume. If it starts to peak up, that means there's better volume in the meme coin section. Likewise, you can do the same with like the big coins like Bitcoin. You can look at the volume, trading volume. How is the price action? Is it moving up? Because Bitcoin is the founder, is the key to that unlocks the truth of what's going to happen. Bitcoin will dictate where the market goes. If Bitcoin starts to fall, Solana starts to fall. Solana will then, because the liquidity, or Ethereum or BNB, because the liquidity, for example, BNB drops, this value will automatically drop the price. So if BNB went down 10% and no one brought broccoli, soon as someone buys or sells, the chart will drop to here, for example. So your price will be down. So if you see BNB looking bearish, it's good. It's a very easy option just to short broccoli rather than anything else. Yeah, because it's in BNB. Now that doesn't say it's automatically going to win, is always a 50-50 chance. All of this is all a gamble. But if BNB's price is free falling, the first thing I would do, let's say the market was crashing, Bitcoin, bearish news, we're at 83 and suddenly we go to 78 and we just fall in 77, 76, 75. I would rush over to OKX and pick every meme coin here and short them. I think I've done a video on it and I recorded the whole thing. And I would literally go here, I would short this, I would short that, because naturally they're all going to fall. This is one of the easiest ways to do it. Naturally, most coins will just genuinely follow Bitcoin. So always keep an eye on Bitcoin. Always keep an eye on the liquidity provider or token that your token you're trading in is pegged in or paired in. And also keep an eye on what's happening with the token. Read the news on it. Check it out. This is the most simplest form you can do to get started. It requires research, knowledge, looking at it. You cannot look at a chart and say, oh, this is going to go up, this is going to go down. Impossible. You will not make money doing that. You are pure gambling. Gamble with some knowledge. That's what you need to do. Everything is a guess. Yeah, you just have to make the best informed guess you can. So I hope this video has helped for the people that requested it. I wish you all the best and take care.